one question might lots of people might think, okay, you do this now. You had this great idea when your book went out to um, ask a favor to your friend and say, I think you're going to like this, so please share it. How are we supposed to trigger that if we're not having 12 years of blogging behind us? And if though we're like a year ahead, we wrote some good stuff. And at some point, I think we want to continue to write for the amplifier in a way. So is it
Very
doable?
good point.
Is it doable within a year or so of blogging, or how could
Yes,
we maintain hope?
absolutely. Absolutely it is. And let me tell you a story that really shows how it works. So when I wrote Known, I kind of went a little crazy. I interviewed 97 people who are known in their field all around the world. So there were people from education, from finance, from art, from music, from construction. And I interviewed them. How did you do this? What was the process? And what I found is that all of them did the same four things to get known, no exceptions. So it kind of provides this clarity. I mean, when I was starting out, it's like, what do I do? Should I be on Facebook? Should I be LinkedIn? Should I create videos? How do I do this? And I stumbled around and it ends up, I did those same four things too. I didn't really think about it that way, but that's how it worked. Now, here's the other thing. For these people who became known, on average, it took them 27 months for their brand to really take off. So kind of like bumble to bumble, kind of like bubbled. And then all of a sudden, boom, it started to work. Now, after my book came out, people were telling me 5 months, 6 months after my book came out, they said, oh my gosh, Mark, your book changed my life. I followed the book exactly. You would not believe what's happening in my life right now. One lady said, 6 months after I wrote this book, she said, I just made $1 million off your book. And I'm thinking, oh, I made $4 off of you. You owe me more than $4. And so here's what I was thinking. How is this possible? All these smart, amazing people, on average, it took them 27 months. How is it possible for these people to have so much success in 5 or 6 months? And somebody told me, well, Mark, the reason is the people you interviewed didn't have your book. They didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
They fumbled around just like you. You know what? I was the same way, Karine. It took me probably 3 years for my brand, and I fell into it. It was like trial and error, and eventually I figured out here's how I do it. So in Known, it's sort of like a shortcut. It's like you don't have to fumble around. Here's exactly how you do it. And by the way, there's lots of exercises in the book so that everybody can figure out, everybody's different. So here's how you figure it out, your unique way to become known. So it doesn't have to take 2 years. It depends on a lot of different things. How hard do you work? Did you pick the right scene? I mean, there's a lot of variables, but the process on how to do it is pretty clear. And being consistent is a big part of it, by the way.